Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Concept Learning. This is Rasagna. How are you all? Are you all staying safe at your home? Well, so uh, in my last class we have completed multiple integrals, right? And I have also told you which topic that we are going to start in today's class. In today's class we are going to start linear algebra. Okay? Yes. So what is linear algebra? Linear algebra is nothing but we learn about matrices. You know what are matrices that we have already studied in your intermediate first year, right? Yes. But then we have named a new name here in engineering, that is linear algebra. Okay, so in today's class we'll first recall all the things that we have studied in our intermediate first year, all the basics of matrices. What is a matrices? What are different types of matrices? This is what we are going to discuss in today's class. Okay. So if you are new to this class, that is if you have only watched this video, then please do watch the playlist of multiple integrals. I have already completed teaching multiple integrals. You can check that. And in today's class we are going to learn the basics of linear algebra, that is matrices. Let us look into it. Okay, so at first let us look at what a matrix is, the original definition of a matrix. This is the definition of a matrix and we are going to read each part of it and understand what it is. Okay, a system of mn numbers arranged in a rectangular formation along m rows and n columns. Okay, so here it is given that you have m rows and n columns. Okay, so m rows and m columns, we'll first underline that thing. Okay, so mn numbers arranged, okay, and bounded by the brackets. So you have brackets and in the bracket everything is written. Okay, rectangular formation and you will be writing clearly everything in the bracket. Bracket is present. Is called an m by n matrix, which is written as m cross n. And this m cross n, okay, we are writing it in m cross n, and you can see that m is row and n is columns. Okay, yes. So how do you represent a number at first? You have mn numbers, right? So that means if you take any alphabet, that is if you take something called a, and you are going to write the first term, that is denote the first term as, indicate the first term as a11. Okay, in that, what does this one mean and what does this one mean? This one means rows and the second one means columns, mn numbers, right? So m means rows and n means columns, and that is how we write. That's the order we write in. Okay, yes. So now let us see the second term. So this is row, right? So we are moving in the same row, but then the column is changing. So A12, am I right? So in the same way, that will go on, so on. A1, the column is yet 1, but the row is nth row. Okay, if you move on like that, 1, 2, so on, n rows, you have n rows, right? So nth row, you will be having the term as A1n. Okay, A1n. In the same way, if you move downwards, here you are changing the row but not change, sorry, you are changing the row but not changing the column, right? Yes. So A, this is first row and now second row. Where do you write the row? You will write the row at the first place. So A21 and and so on, you will be changing here. So what will this term be? This is second row term and second column also. So A22 will be this term. Am I right? Yes. So in the same way, this term would be A2n, right? Yes. So in the same way also these will vary and this will become AM1. Why? As you move on, first row, second row, so on, you have m rows, right? So AM, but the row is first row. So AM1 will be that one. Okay. So in the same way, what will this become? AM2, right? So, oh, am I right? Yes, AM2. Row is nth row, but the but the column is 2, second column, right? So that term will become AM2. So in the same way, you will be having the terms, and let me write the final term. This final term. What would this term be? So in the same way, you have many terms here. Okay. Yes. So what will this term become? This term will become A This is the mth row and nth column. So AMN, that will be the last thing. So now you wrote how these numbers are forming. The system of mn numbers arranged in a rectangular formation. This is a rectangular formation with m rows and n columns. Yes, we have m rows 1, 2, so on m, and n columns 1, 2, so on n. Okay, n columns and bounded by the brackets, and we have these brackets bounded by them. Okay, yes. So E is called an m by n matrix. Okay, now where do we represent this part that we have m rows and n columns? Always you will not write it like this. You will be writing numbers there. So when you write numbers, how do you represent them? You have to write it over here. Okay, m cross n for them to know what this is. How many rows and how many columns do they have? To know that, you will be writing this. And what is this called? This part is called the order. Okay, this part is called the order of a matrix. Have you got the point? So what does order mean? It denotes the number of rows and number of columns. Number of rows by number of columns. Have you got the point? Yes. So this is read as m by n. Okay, so this whole matrix m by n. You have m rows and n columns. Have you got the point? So that is what. And let us look at this point. How you denote it? How you denote the matrix? You denote a matrix by a single capital letter. Okay, single capital letter. That is, I can take anything. If I take A, so this will be the single capital letter that I am using. So A is equals to this matrix. So I am denoting this whole matrix with A. And if you have to denote this matrix completely, then what you do is A is equals to Aij. You can represent this whole matrix like this. And what is I and what is J? I is the number of rows, okay, and this is the general form. Okay, general form of representing a matrix is A is equals to, since the whole matrix stays in bracket, you have a bracket and Aij. This is rows representation and this is columns representation. Okay, so that is how you represent a matrix in a general form, and this is how a matrix looks like. Okay, have you got the point? Yes. So that is the basic definition of a matrix, and we have completely explained what it is. Yes. So now let us look about the types of matrix. How many types of matrix we have and what are those, and let us look about them. Okay. Okay, so now let us look about these types of matrices. Okay, these are the types of matrices. Okay, I will write it types. Okay, types. Yes, types of matrices. So what is the first type of matrix we have? That is row matrix, right? Yes. So what is a row matrix? Okay, first actually what is a row? You know what is a row, right? If this is the whole matrix, you have like this, some like this, and you also have elements like this. These are the elements that are present. Okay, yes. So these are called rows, right? These are called rows. Okay, so now what is meant by row matrix is a matrix which contains only a single row. You don't know how many elements. You may have any number of columns, but a row is only one. Okay, if you have a single row and columns is unlimited, then that is called a row matrix, only single row. Then you may have anything, A11, A12, A13, so on, A1n. Okay, you can have n columns, but the row should be 1, and that will be called as a row matrix. Okay, so have you understood what a row matrix is? Yes, that's all right. Now let us look into column matrix. Okay, so now let us look into column matrix. What is column matrix? Here the row matrix means only there should be present only one row. And what about column matrix? You should have only one column present in it. Okay, yes. So the column will be like this, and you may have any number of rows. That's your wish. Okay, and you may have like A11, A21, okay, A31, so on, AM1. Okay, AM1, because M is number of rows that we represent in general, right? Yes. So that is a row matrix. You may have any number. So for a row matrix, let me give me an example. And that would be 3, 9, 2, something. Okay, so that is a row matrix. Now let me give you an example of column matrix. That may be anything, 4, 6, 2, 1. Okay, any number of rows. Okay, any number of rows. Okay, so that is called a column matrix. Now you have understood what it is. Now looking into square matrix. Okay, so what a square matrix is? A square matrix is something in which m is equals to n. That is, the number of rows m is equals to the number of column n. Okay, so let me write an example for that. Okay, well, so if this is a matrix, elements will be A11, A21, A31. Alright, so in the same way, A12, A22, A32. Okay, and A13, A23, A33. Okay, so here m into n, what is the number of rows you have here? The number of rows you have here is 3, and the number of columns you have here is also 3. So here you have m is equals to n, that is, the number of rows is equals to the number of columns, and then that matrix would be called as a square matrix. Have you got the point? If you have the number of rows is equals to the number of columns, and that will be called as a square matrix. Okay, simple. Okay, is it fine? Yes, so it will be fine. Now let us look into what a diagonal matrix is. Okay, what a diagonal matrix is. So in diagonal matrix, only the diagonal elements will be present. Okay, but there's a small a condition, that is, it should be only a square matrix. In diagonal matrix, you would write the definition as the square matrix in which only the diagonal elements are present and all the other elements are zeros. Okay, so and the diagonal elements may be any elements. Okay, so like 3, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2. So only diagonal elements are present over here. Am I right? Only diagonal elements are present. So this is called as a diagonal matrix. But remember, in diagonal matrix, to represent a diagonal matrix, you must only use square matrix. A square matrix in which the diagonal elements are only present and all the others are zero is known as a diagonal matrix. Have you understood what a diagonal matrix is? And now, in diagonal matrix, if you have something called, if you have these diagonal elements equal, all the diagonal elements are equal, that is 3, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 3. Here all the diagonal elements are equal to each other. Am I right? So then that type of matrix will be called as a scalar matrix. Okay, remember it. It is called as a scalar matrix. Okay, from diagonal matrix itself we get a definition of scalar matrix. So that's the reason why I didn't write it as another type. Have you got the point? Okay. So the diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are equal to each other is known as a scalar matrix. Have you got the point? Yes. So that is a diagonal matrix. Now let us look into null matrix. What a null matrix is? A null matrix is something in which you don't have any elements. All the elements are zero. The elements present in it are zero. Okay. So you may have any number of rows, any number of columns, not required to be a square matrix. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is one null matrix. All the elements in the matrix are zero, and then that matrix is known as a null matrix. Okay. So that is it. Now let us look into unit or identity matrix. Unit or identity matrix, in that matrix, it is a diagonal matrix. That means it is a square matrix, right? Because all diagonal matrices are square matrices. Yes. So in that, all the diagonal elements are equal to 1. are not are equal to each other as well as they are equal to 1. Have you got the point? So 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. All should be 1. Okay? Yes. So now could you develop a relation between this? So can a unit or identity matrix become a scalar matrix? Yes, it can become. Why? Because in this all the diagonal elements are equal, so then it will be also called as a scalar matrix, and this will also be a diagonal matrix. So if you have to write the definition of it, you can write it as a diagonal matrix in which all the diagonal elements are equal to 1. Okay, you can write it as that. And now you can also write a relation that a scalar matrix is always an integral multiple of an identity matrix. Okay, because if you have this thing, if you have that thing 3 0 0 0 3 0 0 0 3, if you take 3 common from the whole matrix, then 3 would be common and all these will become 1. So you can write it as 3 into this whole identity matrix, right? So that is why we tell it as a small link, okay, connection. Yes, so that is it. And you have some other types of matrix. Let us look about them also. Okay, so the next type of matrix are triangular matrix and trace. Triangular matrix is type and the concept is trace of a matrix. Let us first look into what a triangular matrix is. And in triangular matrix you have 2 types of matrices, that is upper triangular matrix, and the other one is lower triangular matrix. Okay, lower triangular matrix. So what are these? What does a upper triangular matrix mean? In upper triangular matrix also you have a condition that should be a square matrix. A square matrix. The definition starts from a square matrix. Okay. Which has, okay, let me write an example and then deal with it. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 9. Okay, 0, 0, and 2. Okay, yes. So what does upper triangular matrix mean? In upper triangular matrix we take a square matrix where this is the principal diagonal, right? This is the principal diagonal. So all the elements below the diagonal are 0. A square matrix in which all the elements below the principal diagonal are 0 is known as an upper triangular matrix. Have you got the point? We take a square matrix. Okay, this is a 3 into 3 square matrix. Order, writing the order, it will be a practice. So write it. Okay. So in upper triangular matrix, all the elements which are below the principal diagonal must be equal to 0. All the elements must be 0. So that will be called as a upper triangular matrix. Now what is a lower triangular matrix? Hope you will be catching it soon, right? So what will this be? Let me write an example for that. Okay, 3, 2, 4. Let me write the same elements. Okay, 3, 2, 4 and 0, 0, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, let me write it something 9. Okay, yes. So what does a lower triangular matrix mean? A lower triangular matrix is a square matrix where all the elements which are above the principal diagonal are equal to 0 is known as a lower triangular matrix. Have you got the point? So upper triangular matrix is a square matrix where all the elements below the principal diagonal are equal to 0, and same way what is meant by a lower triangular matrix? All the elements which are above the principal diagonal are equal to 0. Have you got the point? So that is upper triangular matrix and a lower triangular matrix. Now let us look into a small concept known as trace of a matrix. What is trace of a matrix? Let me tell you. if you have some matrix over here, any matrix, let me take a matrix as example 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 9, 7. So this is a matrix which is of order 3 into 3. Okay, 3 into 3 matrix, and we can find the trace of a matrix only for a square matrix. Remember that. Okay. So in that we are going to take the diagonal. And if we add all these diagonal elements, that is 2 plus 2 plus 7. What would this give me? 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 7 is 11. So 11 will be the trace of the matrix. Okay. In a square matrix, the sum of all the diagonal elements is known as trace of a matrix. A square matrix, taking a square matrix, all the diagonal elements sum. What is that sum? That will become the trace of a matrix. Have you understood what a trace of a matrix is? Yes. So we take a path, trace path, and that will be equal to the trace of a matrix. Have you got the point? Yes. So these are some basic concepts which we have already read in intermediate, but then we have to first recall those, right? And after that we could solve the problems on matrices, and we'll go into other properties which also we have studied in our intermediate, right? Yes. So today we have completed the basics, okay, and we will also recall some other topics which we have left and in our next class, which we have already studied in an intermediate, okay, but then we have to recall. So we are going to recall them in our next class, okay. Yes. So do not forget to share the video, also like the video, subscribe to this channel for more videos, okay. We'll be doing many more videos of linear algebra and going to complete this topic also. And if you have not watched the multiple integrals, you can quickly check in the description box below. You have a playlist and you can check in that. And this will be also useful to intermediate students because they will also study matrices, right? First year students. Yes. So let them also watch this, okay. Yes, so please share these videos to them also. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, okay. So thank you for now. Meet you in my next class.